Hello friends, this is Matt Jones, host of the Say It Loud podcast. On episode 22, we brought in Edison Chair, who's a six-piece band from Austin, all Austinites, if you can believe it. They'll be performing with Fair City Fire at Stubb's on September 7th, along with Sydney, Wright, and Nomad City. Edison Chair is very much like a family, is what I've learned. I mean, I've seen them play before, but when you listen to them in this interview, they really tell you that they're family. 5 of them live together in the same house. They have an EP called We Got History, and they really do. They were in the Austin teen music scene years ago, which is a great story. I think we got to some interesting topics just about the music business, which is interesting to me, because Fair City Fire and Edison Chair are both at a level now where they're making money for music, and it's not something that's... I don't hear people talk about it much in terms of at this level. But, how do you know what you're worth as a band? How do you make sure you get what you're worth? And how do you become a full-time musician? We finish up with a game that I think everybody won. You're going to learn about music today. So enjoy the podcast. Edison Chair, Stubb, September 7th. We'll see you there. Duh. That rhymed.
Side hustle.
Should we do a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Should we record a podcast?
Shall we?
Side hustle. Shalln't we?
Welcome to Fair City Fire Say It Loud podcast number 22. We are legal.
Yeah.
We're officially legal.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we were last podcast, but we might not
But
have
now
to show our
we've
ID.
been around the
once
block.
Yeah,
Now it's
yeah.
like sunk in.
Yeah.
Yeah. On 6th Street.
Edison Chair is here today. 3 members. Half of Edison Chair is here.
Hey.
2 legs of Edison Chair are here. That doesn't make sense. There's 3 of you, but it's half of a chair.
About 6
All right.
legs.
Oh, okay.
Which is
I get it. I was like, where'd you get
to our 2 legs.
Oh.
We've got Rachel, Ellen, and Martin.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
How did you guys win the lottery to come to the podcast today?
Well, they said, girls, go. Which is how they begin most press things. and we went.
And then we don't, we just like Martin. So.
I'm just
Yeah.
here to pick up heavy things usually.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
Just in
everybody.
case.
He's here for the bass voice.
And we've got Brian, Brett, and Joe.
Hey.
Clint is MIA. I think he hates the podcast. He's been on like 10 minutes of a podcast before. But you guys are playing together September 7th at Stubb's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. It's going to be great.
Sydney, Wright, Nomad City. It's going to be pretty much like awesome girl power show.
Yeah.
Except for these guys.
Yeah. Except for the weird male
Yeah,
president
we'll,
in the middle there.
We'll dress however you want. It's all good.
You guys actually just, like, in the last week, I want to kind of understand, because you guys had a show at Antone's about a week and a half ago, and then you guys had one this weekend, but you guys, Edison Chair, got the shit end of the stick on, like, getting an Antone show, right?
During a hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't our choice. We were kind of throwing the show last minute.
But we're
You
like,
gotta
it's
take it.
Antone's.
And that
Yeah.
wasn't quite when not all the hurricane stuff was happening at the moment. So immediately we said, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. It's Antone's. Yeah, and then the week progressed and the hurricane progressed. And then we all sort of converged there on Saturday night.
Oh.
How was it, like, just curiosity, like, did people brave the weather to come out?
Surprisingly so.
yeah.
Like, a lot of people came out.
Hell yeah.
A lot of our parents, a lot of our moms.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
During a hurricane.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
There was a commotion going on all on 5th Street and where we were. There was like the Westin was across the street from us. And at some point there was like an ambulance and a fire truck that right before we played. And apparently a sign had been like uprooted and thrown out a window at the Westin, like happening right across the street.
It looked insane.
But there were still more people there than we thought. Definitely by a lot.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you wouldn't trade it for anything? You're happy
it's
with your
fun.
free?
Oh,
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
As much as they moved that place, it seems like they really kept the kind of like legendary feel to it. It
Yeah,
felt like you were still in Antone.
Well, you guys were a South by Southwest band this year, which was
Heck
awesome,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Are you guys rich and famous yet? Like, do you get,
God,
Snoop
no.
Dogg? Like,
No, but we did get really cool backpacks.
Yeah,
Dude,
definitely.
Really,
That's cool.
That's what we're in it for.
Yeah.
The
10 out of 10 backpacks.
what is it like coming out of South by? I mean, what did you take from it? I mean, did it meet your expectations?
I don't know, man. Like both times that we've been official, it's really more about like the hype going into it because it puts you on like a bunch of different like internet blasts or lists or whatever, so you can meet people that way, but it's really difficult because it's just like with unless you like have like a label or just like a lot of influence or money going into it. That's like been my experience. Really, just the best thing to do is play shows, and actually being official limits your ability to play shows because you can't play shows like before 7 p.m. or something.
Right, there's so many parameters.
So-
Once you're an official band, you're not allowed to play anytime except basically your official shows or things that happen after a certain time during a certain few days. So you
Yeah.
can't play all the shows that you want to play. We had to turn down shows because we were not allowed to play them as an official band.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there's like the ideal situation of like, oh, there's going to be like record executives there, but for the most part, what I've heard is like that's just kind of like set up before it, is even going to happen. Like Leon Bridges was going to like blow up, or Alabama Shakes was going to blow up during South by Southwest, and that's kind of like, I don't know, it might have some more structure to it. Not that it's bad to be official. It's really fun. It gets you into like more stuff, and
You
it's
get
a really,
wristbands,
it's a
you
really
get free
cool thing.
drinks everywhere.
Yeah.
But like it's really just hard because like, man, you can just like, if you have like flyers and CDs, you just pass them out in a whole day, and like people just kind of throw them away and stuff because everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
I think
Just-
that's the issue, is that there's so many bands.
Just
now.
that it's really
so big.
congested.
It's way too much noise.
I think
yeah.
the best thing is to play in front of people who want to hear music and have like CDs to sell, or just to give out just to people. I don't know. That's probably like my strategy. That's what we're gonna do this year, if we're not official.
Over 2,000 bands. I mean, that's just
So many
that's a lot of bands.
How do you break
Yeah.
that market?
In-
It's
in-
impossible.
in 7 days? Not even 7 days, or 6 days, or 5 days.
There are a lot of
That's
those
just
artists
crazy.
who go there and play 13 shows in 5 days, and I guess that's how they break the market. But other than that, it's really hard.
I think like the most important thing to do to engage fans at South by is just like get their email, get them to sign the mailing list. It seems like that's like really one of the only ways you can like maintain these fans, and like they're from all over the place, so it's cool if you go
Sure.
on tour and stuff. But I don't know, that's kind of been our experience for sure. We've only been unofficial though so far.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what is it like? I mean, I can ask this for both bands, because there's shows you play, like the September 7th Stubb show, plug, where it's going to be mostly people that either like you or the other band, so it's like definitely a friendly audience. Not that South by isn't, but do you approach it differently when you're going to play in front of people that you mostly don't know? Like, it's going to be like a brand new crowd. Is there more energy? Does your mental state before the show change? Are you more focused? Does it change anything at all about that?
I guess when we play for a new crowd, it's usually going to be a smaller crowd, and so that kind of tilts the way we might perceive it if it would have been like the same amount of energy from a crowd that we know than a new crowd. I'd say we just approach it almost a similar way. You just try to go out there and make every show the best show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we try and bring just a ton of energy every time. But it's nice when there's new people, because then you get to kind of like see new reactions to yourself, which is fun.
New reactions are cool. We're putting out a lot of music and a lot of different stuff right now, so it's almost better to get an outsider's perspective.
Yeah. But it's hard to adapt to situations sometimes. Like this will be maybe our third time now playing Stubbs indoors, so like we'll be, like we know the drill, and you just kind of know what the feel is going to be, like maybe what your problem was last time or whatever.
Yeah.
And so when you're playing like maybe like in a new city, like y'all just went on a tour and stuff, so I'm sure you'll have to do that every single gig. There's no familiarity. You don't know what the problems are going to be going into it, and that's just kind of like and it stresses you out more before the show or something.
Yeah, dude, for sure. It's pretty interesting, like, playing in front of new crowds and stuff. And, like, when you're on tour and you're in the middle of, like, the country somewhere, it's lucky if you know a couple people in the crowd, maybe from stuff in your past, or somebody moved away from Austin or something,
Sure.
Yeah, it's cool. I totally agree. I mean, you should bring the same show every time, at least try to. But when
you say
interesting.
should, like, are you able to, though? I mean, is it a switch or something? You just say, I'm going to do the same thing I always do. I mean, it doesn't feel
I don't
different.
think you can because we're not machines, It's like there's this feedback from the crowd that, it's just a give and take thing. The crowd's there with you and they're going crazy and like it's loud and people are moving. Like you can't help but put on like the best show in that environment. But it's not about intentions. It's just about like how you feel. That's been my experience at least.
And we've come up with set list of based on that idea, like of hey, I know we've kind of played this song always at the beginning or this song always at the end to close and stuff, but if there's new people there, they haven't seen these songs be at the beginning or be at the end or something like that, and it would be good for those new people to kind of leave on like this note or begin on this note or something like that. So
Yeah.
definitely, I get that.
Yeah, that'd be the weird thing about like getting successful, where if like you're basically guaranteed fans at every show, because like then that's where you can fuck up and stop bringing it to every show, you know, because like you don't have to try and you're just like, I'm famous or whatever, people are gonna show up anyway, I can be drunk or whatever.
Yeah,
So like,
that's a whole weird concept to me.
yeah,
We're
I
trying
don't
to
know.
keep it like.
So like
as
that's like if
entertaining.
you're like the more successful you are, the harder it is, I bet, you know. But you just have to like try to maintain to be, you know, like think it's just about, you know, putting on a good show at the end of the day, you know.
Right.
That's probably one of the first cool moments of a successful band is when you go to a show and you're like, oh, let's leave an extra few measures. This is the part where they clap and sing, and it's like, what? That's incredible
Like
to be
cut
able to
out,
see.
and they're gonna sing every
yeah.
word, or we need to get that mic. I always think about that: someone singing the mic and then pointing it down and not saying any words. So the crowd sings it. And you sing it. And you sing 2 words, and they sing 8, and then you. Sing
You should do that
3,
move
and they sing
anyway.
45.
Even with new people, you should do that move. Just like no. Yeah.
Just like I don't feel like singing this. I'm gonna let you guys sing whatever you want to.
So so half the band's here. So 6 members is I would say above average in terms of a band size, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys write a song with 6 people? You know, like who is it? Everybody's
Not
is it
with 6
super
people
democratic.
in the room,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of groups of 2s and 3s working on songs. Mostly him and Wes Armstrong, Martin and Wes Armstrong, right?
Yeah.
I would say definitely
Shout
a
out
majority
Wes.
of the music of the R.I.P. Wes.
Is he dead?
This is news to me.
Me too.
Damn.
Dude, we got breaking news. That's amazing.
No, but I think it is a lot of small groups, and then once there's like a structure and the majority of the song is actually written, at least like the bare bones of it, then we get together and everyone can kind of put their own flair on it, which I think is what makes them great. Mm-hmm. And that's the most fun, even though it's kind of a lot of, you know, cooks in the kitchen in those big practices when we're learning new songs. It's also fun because everyone has a new idea or something they want to put on it.
Could you write a song in a day? Do you think, or could it even
Yeah.
work? Yeah. Have you?
No,
Oh.
but I do think we could do it in a day. It's. Do you mean from conception all the way through it? Even idea. No one has any melody. We all just 6 of us sit down, 3 of us, whatever, sit down and say, all right, let's make a song.
I guess
sure
you're
we
right. There's a
could.
lot of layers
But
to that.
would it
yeah.
be good?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well-
people really separate the songwriting and then the arranging, but really like
Right.
they're the same in the end. Like
We
how
usually
the-
do it in 2.
How the harmonies are gonna sound are gonna be involved basically in the writing. Like, you know, maybe the chorus wouldn't work without the harmonies or something, that kind of stuff. You know, so you could probably write a bare bones song in a day, but it would be difficult to actually like we're gonna play this tomorrow.
Right.
You know, like.
Do you think it'd be fun to, now that it's like, we're kind of thinking about talking about this, and I had this idea, what if there was like a, you know how in like film there's like a 24-hour film competition or like 78-hour, 48-hour, whatever. What if there was like a 24-hour songwriting competition, and like bands had 24 hours, you had 24 hours to write a song, perform
It's
it,
tough.
figure it out, get it down. I don't know.
I think we could do it.
You'd have to
I'm
have
just
like
saying.
parameters, right? Like,
Well,
you
of
know,
course
like,
there'd be
have to like,
parameters. It has to be
about this thing,
this
or-
long, or it
Like
has
American
to,
Idol for songwriting or something.
Yeah, or I don't know, or even
Yeah.
just like those film fests for songwriting. You know, those film fests have like, there has to be a certain prop, and there has to be a certain line, and there has to
Yeah.
be a certain this and that. So I
Right,
don't know.
right.
It could be something like that. I don't know. Would you guys do something like that?
I think so.
Like maybe
Could
for
be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be like one of those.
It'd be a challenge.
What are those?
Yeah.
You can
It
go to like
wouldn't be
those
a-
rooms that are like a puzzle, and you have to solve it as a group together
like a trap
or
room
whatever.
escape room or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely wouldn't be obviously a very.
Isn't
Official
there
thing.
isn't
It'd
there
just
like
be a
an
fun thing
episode
to
of
do.
Rick and Morty where that's exactly what they have to do, but it's planets. Like every planet has to write a hit song.
Oh man.
That's cool. I need to watch
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've heard it's amazing.
What do you think in the last 25 years would be Planet Earth's hit song? Like if the aliens came down and they were going to take your last 25 years, here's Planet Earth's song.
the one song.
That's
Yeah. I think
Si se puede.
Go ahead.
Yes.
100%.
That's a good plug. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd probably be something by Michael Jackson.
I was going to say the same
Last
thing. It's got to be Mike
25
MJ's
years.
song.
Oh, just pick one
because
song
now
and go,
25
that's
years.
the
For
last
Earth,
25
for
years.
Planet Earth.
Oh, okay.
to
Like
impress the aliens.
Planet Earth song. Yeah.
Although the one song that they did pick, mind you, was Johnny Be Good. Like that's
Yeah,
what's
it's
on
in
the
the-
like gold
Really? Yeah,
the
record
gold record
that's
that
like
they sent out.
sending out
In the
space,
satellite,
so,
yeah.
You know, just for thought. But
It's a good song.
what would you
It's
put?
classic.
I'd pick
yeah.
"Where's the Love" by the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, that's a good one.
I would pick Eruption.
Yeah.
The guitar solo.
Yeah, dude.
Eddie Van Halen.
Well, and you really got me.
That'll
Also,
keep
but-
the aliens away.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you do both parts?
Yeah.
Or, like, does
Oh,
that
you
count
have
as
to.
one song? Like, can we do that?
Yeah, dude. It's
Okay,
like
alright, cool.
Heartbreaker.
They're together now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girl.
So it's
You really
Eruption,
got
I guess.
me
Is that the
now.
winner?
Yeah.
So,
You're right.
Dear Aliens, it's Eruption.
I'd be like,
So with 6 people, could you guys? I would think just time-wise, strategically, trying to get together to play gigs or practice, let alone trying to like build a tour or something. I know you guys have gone around Texas, like Dallas, Houston. Like, could you ever envision like putting together a tour with 6 people's schedules?
yeah, we've been talking about that more and more, and it would be really hard.
But yeah, it's like the next level thing we have to do, and really we haven't had like the resources to do that yet, to get like established enough in Austin to feel like we need to go on tour, and that's why we're just like hitting the cities for now, and like we're putting out these recordings right now, and these are really the only ones that we've actually thought that could get on the radio. Before it was kind of like, because like our problem has been the band's changed so much that we're always like releasing kind of like lower budget demos, because the lineup changes, and then like when our lineup changes, like the singers have changed, and that really kind of messes with a band when your lead singer changes, and so anyway, now we finally have the music, and so we're gonna start building on that and like planning tours after that. Probably start off just like a week, and then like 2 weeks or something. Do something slow.
Yeah, I mean, most of us have pretty easy to leave jobs. There's like 2 of us that have legit jobs.
It's like, do you want to have said that online? Yeah.
Which 2? No.
Hopefully your employers know. Yeah.
Oh no, like we all have legit jobs,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
As far as
they're all
flexibility.
cool. Yeah, they're all flexible.
But like, if you're one of their bosses, like she wasn't talking about you. Like,
No, it's yeah.
you're totally legit.
Yeah, but after a
Boss
while,
man.
you just kind of have to like jump on the whole like I'm just gonna do this musician thing, and that's just kind of who you meet doing it, because those are all the people who decided to do that.
It was before our first tour. They were like, I was in a sales position, and they were like, well, come September, you have a decision to make, it sounds like. And I was like, well, decision's already made.
Right.
What do I do until September to pass the time, I guess? You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. It's like do certain
And I think we never really talked about this on the podcast, but Brian and Brett can speak to this, because they both left real jobs to just be musicians, and it was a struggle. I know, watching it happen.
Oh yeah.
But how can you do that?
You just do it. That's the easiest way to say it. Yeah, I mean,
Just Nike.
yeah. Sponsor us now. No, it was tough. I just remember waking up. It was like Groundhog's Day, kind of that feeling where you wake up and it's all of a sudden you're waking up again, and then you're waking up again. You're just mind-numbing job over and over again, and you just really want to do something else, and then I remember called Brian up. I said, I'm quitting my job. It was during South by. It was 15 or 14? It may have been 14. 'Cause we're coming on 3 years now, right? Either way, it doesn't matter. And I called him. I said, I'm quitting my job, and I did. And that was the first job I've ever quit. Like, usually I put in like
Damn.
2 weeks notice and kind of do it legit wise. And I just went up, and it was during South by. I think we had like 8 shows lined up, and I was like, I hate to do this to you guys because it's South by. I know it's gonna be busy, but I fucking quit. I'm sorry. Like, and then we did it. But like Matt was saying, it was tough. It was a struggle, especially like that first 8 months was really tough because you really don't know what you're doing. I mean, you go, oh yeah, I've played in shows a million times before, but you don't realize you don't make shit for money until you need that money. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not making any money. Usually you're like, oh, we'll make $75 or whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you need money, you go, oh God, I can't survive off of this. And then we got to split it 2 ways, and then maybe gig twice a week. It's like, this isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then we did it. We did it for about 9 months later. I think that's when we noticed the turnaround. Yeah, something like that, and just put in work. So I guess the point of the story is just, if you want to do it, just Just pull the trigger, do it.
But it's like, isn't it just like, it's really work, like just doing emails and like
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
a
make
lot of-
connections and
It's no different than
taking
any other job,
bad
really.
gigs, yeah.
If you
Working
think
your way
about
up.
it that way. I mean,
Yeah.
you
That's for sure.
Yeah.
We kind of flirt with that a little bit with this, like basically all the summer we just played cover shows.
Yeah.
And we've invested the time in working up a cover set, and that's kind of it's not enough to pay for everyone to like not have a job or anything, but it pays for the band's expenses, so at least we're not having to use our own money.
Which is really smart.
And
yeah.
it's but it's kind of hard because there's only so many Saturdays, so it's hard to be in like you can't like be playing a bunch of cover shows because then you can't play any original shows, so
Yeah. That's where that's kind of where we found our problem, is kind of what you were saying, is just it's like, there's only a few days a week that you can make some really good money, and then you realize, oh, grocery stores pay really well, or hotel lobbies pay great, or like private parties, or just trying to find these odd, if you get a job like on a Tuesday, you make, a couple $100, you're like, fuck yeah, like I still have the rest of the week to maybe play 3 or 4 more shows. But you're right, Martin. It's a nice, like it's a hard blend to find that time to really go, okay, I need the money, but I also need to play this original show. So Brian and I do a lot of double headers, and so is Joe. Joe's getting on board more recently, but like we'll play a 3-hour set and then drive an hour to San Marcos and play a 45-minute set and then cruise back. So it's just a lot of.
That's musician life, man.
Yeah, it's fun as shit too. I fucking love it. Like, I love being broke at the not. I love being broke in that fashion because it's like, in reality, the job I was doing before, I was still pretty broke by normal standards. So
But
it's
now
like
you're broke with a purpose.
exactly.
Music,
yeah. At least I get to play music
I like that.
and
Broke with a purpose. That's a good one.
and your own boss. It's like you don't have to look up to. You set your own schedule. You work as hard as you want. You don't work as hard as you want. It's up to you.
Brian's got to have something to say about this.
Boop.
All right, good.
I liked it.
You got? Do you? Do you? Are you good?
Brett pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
It's just it's like anything else. But you got. I feel like if you want to do it full time, you got to be really smart about the business side of stuff. It's like you got to know how to negotiate with people and like how to, stand up for what you think you deserve. And that's kind of the thing, because nobody out there is going to give that to you as a musician. You got to ask for it. And you got to demand it sometimes, and you got to play hardball. Like, okay, we're not coming out if you don't do this. Right. So it's tough, but you learn how to do that without being an asshole, and and you learn how to, like, I guess you can be an asshole if they really deserve it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's about what gigs to keep, what gigs to like ditch. And it's been pretty interesting. It's been a learning experience for sure.
Like, do you know, like, as Edison Chair, what you're worth? How do you decide that? As a band, to tell somebody?
I don't know. I think that's the part that, like, we're just now kind of getting to the point where we'll have certain gigs where they're like, oh, okay, name your price. Like weddings, we're like,
What's our price?
What's
Yeah.
our price? So we're slowly figuring out that worth.
But as we add to our presentation, you learn more songs, you buy better lights, you have a nicer sound system. That's when you can start charging more, and we're kind of starting to invest more in that, because then you're just more professional band. Because some cover bands make a killing in Austin, but then like you are just playing cover shows all the time, which there's nothing wrong with that. No. It's fun, like.
It's a fine balance, because you can get stuck in that trap. Just like any job for that matter. And just,
like our sound man the other day at I don't know if y'all have ever played there. It's like the Lone Star Court at the Domain.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So we brought a 6-piece band to that, dude. Like we bring like Leslie, when we played like quiet
inside, like the
Yeah,
fireplace.
right by the fireplace, yeah.
And so we're just like blocking the whole way, and like so how you're in that corner and there's like doors there. People. So first we get there and everyone's just wasted. It's like 5:00, and like all these people are like 40.
A day at the Domain, yeah.
Yeah. So that was just kind of weird. And then so like we're trying to set up, and everyone's walking through the door like while we're obviously trying to set up like the speakers and everything. Anyway, it was just kind of a weird show. But our sound guy was had been in the Eggman for like 15 years. He's like, man, I was like George for 10 or 15 years.
Wow,
it's pretty cool.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Because man, that band's been around forever.
Wonder what that's like. Like, is that, you think that's like fulfilling? Acting as somebody else. I mean,
It's got to be a
Because like you have to like wear a wig and
Yeah.
stuff. You have to wear like the George clothes, and they probably have they probably change clothes, right? I haven't even seen them actually ever.
but I mean, it's probably
Better than a lot of other jobs, I bet.
yeah, it's probably based on who you are and what your goals are. I would imagine. So
One
It's
time
still
that
cool.
they played like in my neighborhood, or like, and I could just hear them, and they were badass. Like I wasn't even in front of them, but I could just like hear them coming down and like it was really cool. They were playing everything because they used to just play like the live stuff that the Beatles did, but now they'll play like Sgt. Pepper or just anything. It's cool. It's
All the
pretty
fun stuff, yeah.
pretty cool.
So you were talking about the idea of like understanding your value or your worth, which is interesting because my guess would be, because the way you were talking about it, Martin, was like, oh, now we're at the point where we can offer a certain. My guess would be most bands, if somebody said name your price, would give a lower price than what they're worth. Do you think that's true?
I think we definitely.
I
do
agree.
That,
I think
yeah.
we still do. I think we give a lower price than what we're worth, definitely.
And what does it take to go to? I mean, do you think one day you'll just wake up and be like, we should get this much, or do you think it's
No, I think
what
it's kind of-
criteria are you looking to reach?
Like
to,
every time you give someone a price and they're like, "Oh no, we can give you more than that," or "You guys need more than that," then we kind of up the price a little bit to like, "Oh, okay, well they paid us this."
But no,
much."
it's never the people who are giving us money that
No.
say you're worth more than that.
I was gonna say, has that ever happened?
But people that see you and then you tell them like, "Oh no, we usually get paid around this much," they're like, "Oh no, you need to be getting paid more than that." Or
Okay, yeah.
It's out of it. Not necessarily out of industry people. Like some of our industry friends will be like, you need to be getting paid more, and we say okay, but how? It's something we're figuring out right now as well. How do we prove that we're worth more money? And the only way we know how to prove it is just be the best band they've ever seen, the most professional, the most cooperative, flexible band that we can be.
And it's just the situation, like really, we definitely learned that, making less money in Austin is, actually kind of preferable to making more money in another place. We really have to be smart about traveling to make money, because we can only really do it because we have to bring a trailer, and that eats a lot of gas, and then like there's meals and like a hotel and whatnot. So obviously y'all know all about that kind of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
But so like if we can we'll play a gig in Austin for less money than we'll play gigs somewhere else.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guys evaluate it, like the Fair City Fire guys? Because you do like these insane shows in Dallas at like 11:30, and like you just drive home that night, get home at like 6 a.m.
We did do that a couple times. Yeah.
Is it worth it? Yeah. I mean, it must be, right, if you do it.
Well, the nice thing is, I think if there's a balance of like, okay, you're making good money and you're getting in front of people, which at like a Dare's Saloon, it's been that case. Like we played there a couple times, and it's just like right in Deep Ellum, which is
Yeah, dude.
it's a pretty cool part of Dallas, So it's like there's just like a lot of foot traffic around. So it's just you get that like exposure in a new market that you want as a band from Austin, and you get some money. So it's like kind of if both of those things are there, or like one or the other, like to an extreme, it's like definitely worth doing. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of a 50-50 thing that you balance.
If you can get both, though, that's sweet.
And we've definitely had places where, the first time we played there, and usually out-of-town places, it's one price, and then the more we play there, like we've negotiated our way up, and now we're getting more money and stuff, So you can kind of use it as a bargaining tool just to get there if you've never played, in that city or something,
Yeah, I'm always fascinated in the business side of it, but I don't have to bore anybody else with that. It is really interesting though, the idea of like being a band and understanding your worth, and because I think in Austin sometimes that's just generally a problem is for bands to understand that, and the people hiring them to observe that. I think so.
Yeah, I guess that's where you're gonna have to turn gigs down just to kind of stand your own ground in a sense, because you'll have a lot of venues that will go, you're worth way more than what they're paying you, and then you say, if you don't say yes, they'll find someone to do it for even cheaper. Mm-hmm. But then you got to kind of find that balance of where, okay, well, we kind of we've been around enough, like you guys have been around quite some time now, so you're not just any upcoming band that would take any show just because.
Sure.
So you got to find that fine balance of where you go. we gotta say no to this gig because one, you are worth more than what they're paying, and sometimes playing that gig won't necessarily further you in a way, and it's hard to see that though, especially when you're hungry like you guys are, you know, and you go out and you just play your hearts out every time. You want to take every show, so it's kind of hard to like step back from that and say no.
Sure. Yeah. And it's interesting. Like I'm sure it's even, playing like the more solo acoustic sets. It's interesting to compare them to like your original 45-minute Powerhouse set. You know, because we'll play for like 4 hours for a cover show in Corpus Christi, and then like talking about driving back. Like we've driven back from that. You know, we'll just get home at like 7 a.m. and shit. You know,
We know that game. Yeah.
and then you compare that to just going to Stubbs, playing 45 minutes, hanging out.
In your city, getting home
Drinking a
in
beer,
20 minutes.
just drive home, hit P. Terry's, I'm asleep.
Too
You
good.
know, like it's like so easy.
It's a common night. It's a
compared
common
to
night.
that, you know.
Where'd you guys play in Corpus? Did you play at the surf?
Where
South
haven't we
Texas
played
Ice
in
House.
Corpus?
Okay.
Yeah, South Texas Ice House is the big one.
That's the one. We need to get in at the Executive Surf Club. I know that's one place.
I heard that's. I've never. I was in a band a long time ago that played there, but I would love to play there again. That was like fucking 10 years.
We
ago.
just play at
That was terrible.
this funky bar that pays us like more than we think they would want to pay us, but they just
Definitely.
always do, and they just pay us cash. And we're like, all right, cool,
We out.
yeah. But I don't know. Corpus is interesting. There's there's not like a whole downtown or anything. We've never really got a chance to go to the beach there. We play in Galveston. We've gone to the beach in Galveston.
There's
a
no
bunch.
beach
we
in
love
Galveston.
Galveston.
Galveston's awesome.
And yet we still go to the beach.
Yeah, we
in
love to hate
Galveston.
it.
We went there when like the with the bacterial infection,
The
that ate
flesh-eating
your
virus.
skin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad
We were
one.
playing there, and we all got in the ocean still.
Yeah.
I also wanted to broaden this up a little bit. You know, for people who don't play in a band, know your worth. It goes down to the personal level
Aw.
as well. You know what I mean? So just wanted to point that out as well.
Yeah.
PSA.
Because I'm just saying, people who listen to this may not always be musicians, but know your worth otherwise.
I wish you could see what Joe's doing right now. He's got his like fist like in just like a really like PBS special kind of way.
Yeah.
Like,
Bob Dole fist.
That's true, man.
Yeah.
I was watching
it was really nice.
Yeah. Bob Dole. I was watching Batman yesterday. Dark Knight.
I was watching Begins last
Dude.
night. The first one. Yeah.
So
They're
good.
so good.
Anyway, the Joker breaks in. He's talking to like Maroni and all the thugs, and he's like, we need to kill Batman. Like, how come you haven't done it? It's like if you're good at something,
Never do it for free.
yes.
That's right.
So if you're a band or you're killing people,
Yeah.
trying to kill
Be
Batman,
the Joker. Be the Joker. In every situation.
dude, how good is that movie though?
It's so good.
So good,
Wonderful.
man.
Anybody have a good like Batman voice? Anybody from that movie?
Everybody probably does it.
It just
Or everyone
hurts
has,
to
like,
do
What
it
did he
though.
say?
A
What was like?
mediocre one that you
The
think is
best
really
one was
Don't touch the boy, Harvey.
that was the best one.
Where is he?
Yeah.
That's good. I think Rachel, you're a vocal coach, right? How would you train somebody to do Batman?
And aren't you in a screamo band too, right? You're in like a
Okay, well, it's not,
Both are extremely true.
I'm in a metal band, but we don't do any screaming.
Okay, no screaming,
That's not true. She doesn't doing any screaming.
Okay.
Starting to do some screaming now.
Some of the other bandmates do a little bit of screaming.
Okay.
When they get real excited.
all right. I thought that would.
But I have looked
relay
up like
into,
how people do the screaming, and there is a technique to it. I don't understand it, and I'll sit there and like, and it's like, nope, that's not. It's not gonna happen. But there is a technique to it if anyone wants to go look it up and
Is
figure
it
it out.
a healthy technique?
You're right there.
Yeah, because you hear some of those screamo guys, and they'll be screaming, and it sounds so intense, and like they're really just destroying their throats. But then they'll go and be like, and like sing all those high
The
notes.
melodies, yeah.
Wow.
So there's a way to do it healthily.
That's weird. Like, 'cause people
Quote,
haven't,
unquote.
people weren't doing that longer than like 20 years ago, right? I mean, that's a pretty new thing,
I think so.
I think, right?
But I mean, even like old rockers, like they had
There was
their,
some screaming, like Kiss-
moments.
Kiss did
Oh, yeah.
screamo, I guess, in
Yeah.
a certain.
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
that's what
yeah,
you like.
Robert Plant.
AC/DC.
Well,
Yeah.
Little
Plant
Richard
screamed
was
all the time.
screaming, you know,
Yeah.
but like
Oh,
not,
yeah.
not like the devil fucking voice that they do.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
not the like.
Yeah.
A lot of it, I think, from my understanding, is like playing with the microphone. Right? So you're like, you can make this like sound, but like if you're like back here, it's not going to sound like it's projecting. So if you're like singing your normal voice and then you get right up on the mic and do that like really kind of soft but really high pitched thing,
Yeah, you'll see a lot of
you
them
can
like kind of
project.
grab onto the front of the mic and like just get right
Do
on
the
it.
cone kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So like they might be singing like this, you know.
But it's impressive, just like anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think there's like some secret about like the mics. Basically, is what I understand. That's like my limited understanding of that. Yeah.
These mics are magical. Still don't understand how they work, how this is working. It makes sense. So
Technology, hey?
Martin, earlier you mentioned, so you guys, I think this is the band now, like, because you've had some turnovers in singers, but you guys have been around for a few years, right?
Yeah, this
Seems
seems
like
going for like 2 years.
2 years?
something,
Okay.
right?
Well, it seems that's like the only version I've known, and you guys already seem like family to me. Like, I was trying to think about that today. I was thinking of, what's the theme of, like, Edison Chair? And it always seems like family. Like, I've been to a few shows. You guys, I don't know if you do or not, but when I see you on stage, you seem like you hang out, like, all the time, even outside of, like, music stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. But.
5 out of 6 of us live together.
Yes.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Straight up
And then-
in one house.
Like-
I'm the only person who doesn't live there.
Yeah, I live in the band
Okay.
house. There's
Everybody in the band, it's like, so Rachel, Wes Armstrong, the drummer, and myself met each other, and Jake, the bass player. We all met each other playing like teen band things, so we'd known each other since we were like 15. And
Teen
then
band, wait, I gotta stop at teen band things.
Teen
Is
band
that what
things.
you-
Yeah,
is that
so
like commercials
School
or
of
like
Rock?
Lunchables competition?
no, we just got lucky because in Austin for a little while, greatly due to like Margaret Mosher, and-
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Beautiful
Just
woman.
fast, right?
Yeah.
Just
So this
had
one's
on
But
Friday,
there
yeah.
was
This is a real RIP.
Do we just throw that around?
Wes dead? Like we haven't really cleared that up. Like
Wes is not
Wes is
dead.
not dead.
okay, cool, yeah.
No, but there was this awesome.
We just kind of let that go. Like I don't know, yeah.
There's this awesome teen band scene in Austin for a while, and I mean there still is. I don't know if it's quite as big as it
I don't
was.
think so anymore.
No, but
Raji
we had,
Bear
like-
had this thing called Alt World, and then Margaret, it was just called like U18 or something, and they would just,
And
rent
then
out,
James,
usually on
Jam Fest.
Sundays, they would just rent out a cool venue, like Threadgills or Momos or Emos, and
Yeah, but they got teen bands when we were, I was 13, they were like 15 and 16, and we were all in our own little teen bands that started, whatever which way, and we were playing real gigs at places like Antone's and Momo's, and it was incredible, and we got to meet each other. Ellen was at a lot of those gigs too, so we've all known each other since we were really young. But it was funny because Ellen and I like kind of worshipped Edison Chair when we were younger. We were like, oh, they're famous. We can't talk to them.
We met them when we were like 14. I guess they were
man.
they're about 2 years older than us, so 16. And when I say they, I just mainly mean him and Wes Armstrong, who were the 2 of the founding members of Edison Chair. So at the time, she was in Aftermath. I was a groupie. Jake was in this band called the Carson
Brock
Brock Group.
which
And then they were
Carson's
Edison
still
Chair.
playing around.
I know Carson. He shreds.
Yeah,
He
dude.
does.
Carson-
And they were
Shreds,
just
yeah.
like power rock, like 3-piece power rock.
So we all kind of knew each other, but we loved these guys. We thought we idolized them. We were like, they are the best band we've ever seen. There's like these hot boys.
They're so
in a
cute. They can all
group.
sing.
And
There's a lot of bad lighting in the venues.
the first time we ever met them, we all went to Taco Cabana together, the 4 of us.
Oh, that's a dream.
Had a little date at Taco Cabana. Learned a little bit about them.
That's so funny.
I wasn't so sure about Martin, and then I saw him in that like Aladdin costume in that video. I was
Martin
like,
is
man,
best known for his
See,
that
outfit.
boy.
Yeah.
That boy's
swear.
got something going on. Tell you
That
what.
was hilarious, man.
If you haven't seen the video, it was C. Sepueda, right? That one?
Yeah, it was-
Yeah.
It's amazing. I was wondering, who got to keep the, like, paper mache strong arm? Who has that?
The video, the people who made the video actually made it and kept it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was totally paper mache. It was sick.
Dick Move production company. Dick
It's
Move.
either paper mache or CGI.
It was
couldn't tell.
badass. If I had
Couldn't
made that, I
tell.
also would have wanted to keep it.
That was fun, man. That was crazy because we got there at like 4 a.m. So we're
Yeah.
at the White Horse. Like the staff who just closed up stayed,
Oh,
and like
man.
now they're just.
I'm
gonna
sure they
chill.
love that, yeah.
Now they're just gonna chill while we shoot this music video in there, and we're there at 4 in the fucking morning.
And it was
Oh
cold.
my God,
it was cold
great.
too.
It was nuts. Just because like it's dark, so your concept of time just goes like away, and you just kind of like, I don't know, dreary-eyed and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a crazy weekend.
But it was fun, yeah, because I think we were actually like shooting the part where we're playing the song at like 5 in the morning at the White Horse.
You have someone trying to like curl your hair and do your makeup, and you're like,
And you're like trying to
There's
fall
no
asleep
windows
drinking
in there,
coffee.
so yeah, I can feel like it's like a cave in there.
Yeah.
basically,
And then you eventually go out and it's like, oh, it's daytime.
Yeah, we'd finish filming at 2 p.m.
Wow.
And
I know, like for us, it was like we had to do a couple of those like news shows where we'd go on and do a song, and it was like maybe
Fox 7 and stuff?
like maybe 8 o'clock or something, like not that early.
Yeah, not
but like
4
it was
or 5 in the morning.
It was hard to like just like get it going, like get ready.
how do you
to
get
just,
all that up in the morning? How do you get mustered in the morning to do that kind of thing?
I don't know.
How'd you guys do it?
What's your secret?
lots and lots
Crack
of coffee.
Crack
Lots
cocaine.
of lip syncing. We didn't sing anything.
Exactly.
It was
We
all
didn't have to
recording.
perform.
That's
We
good.
would have sounded terrible, I'm sure.
Do you like enunciate more with like your mouth, or like you're saying,
See,
like
that's
try to
the
make
weird
it
thing
work?
is,
It
I
seems
feel
almost like
like-
more effort.
When we started doing it, at least I know for me, I felt like I was overdoing it to where it was like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to see
Yeah,
that
we're trying to
back and
figure
make sure.
out
She's overdoing it right now, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see it; it's all over the place. But
It was fun. It was actually a really fun time. I mean, it was early, but
honestly, you're making a music video, so you're like, hell yeah,
you're in a good mood
gonna
anyways.
go make a music video.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
A few times I've seen you, Rachel and Ellen, like, you normally have, it seems like a premeditated outfit combo, and also, like, your moves are similar, but it doesn't seem, like, how do you come up with it? Because it doesn't seem forced, but it seems like, because they're definitely moves, but it seems like that's what you'd be doing anyway during the song, so how much do you actually plan that out?
So outfits, it's like, hey, what are you wearing at the gig tonight? And I'm like, great, let's wear this. We both, it's
You all have
clean in our
matching
closets
yeah,
tonight.
okay.
Let's wear it.
We have a lot of. I remember doing the first music video. They were like, okay, you need kind of relatively matching outfits, and we're like, we have a million.
Yeah.
Because we met in middle school, so we've known each other forever and lived together for a long
This
time.
is our 12th year of friendship.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Awesome.
And
That's
as far
so cool.
as the moves go, a lot of them aren't premeditated. Some of them we end up
Yeah, it doesn't
doing.
seem that. It doesn't come off that way, but it, yeah.
We just work off each other. A lot of times I'm just like, okay, what are Ellen's feet doing? Okay, great. Yeah, I can do that.
It's a lot of peripheral vision. If one of us starts going one way, then we'll go that way and the other way, and
And then you just start to like,
then every
No.
song we know, we're like, okay, on this downbeat of this chorus, we mostly just hit a big right hip and then left hip and right,
Yeah.
yeah, or
And
I'll be like,
so-
oh, I know Ellen usually turns here. This is
So
something
I'll
Ellen would
turn,
do, so I'll
yeah.
do this too. So I think it's about just like knowing each other.
and knowing the songs.
Yeah.
That's kind of an art in itself, isn't it?
Definitely.
Like, don't you feel like that's expressive? I mean,
We've thought about having choreographers and stuff, but and we might still.
We gotta
Our-
do it.
Our next endeavor is a wireless mic, so we can do
yeah.
360
Yeah.
moves as opposed to just
Yeah.
the swaying right and left.
I'm excited.
like a headset. That would look
Oh, no,
really
I
cool.
want a Britney.
That would look really cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. If not a Britney, then yeah.
Britney. And sorry, was that too? Martin, you get into it too, though. I've seen you like kind
Yeah.
of jump into like. I think you're usually on Ellen's side, so like usually like join up on your mic.
Oh yeah,
and,
he usually gets right in there.
yeah,
I try to rock out
Yeah.
sometimes, but it's like a, I don't know, it's a live show, so you got to make it rowdy, but then you don't want to mess up. So it's like a kind of a combination of those two things, and how like good you can be at keeping it going without messing it up too much. Or like the key is like do it when it's okay to mess up, when you're just doing something like that's just ambient noise or supposed to sound weird anyway,
Yeah.
They'll just like kind of like run at Ellen and she has nowhere to go, so it's funny.
Well, I mean, with 6 people up there and a keyboard set up, and it's like
And a Leslie, yeah,
yeah.
it's crowded.
We've been in like we used to do Blackheart indoor all the time, so like we'd get all those people on there.
Oh, I saw you guys there once, I think actually.
Yeah, we
I saw you
basically
there
just
once.
hug
There.
and
So like we
play.
can we squeezed in. You just have to suck in. The worst one was the float bar in Galveston.
That wasn't a stage. That was like an awning.
So it's like
Where what?
it's like this bar, and it's like right on like the Seawall Boulevard, which is like right in front of like the ocean. So it's like all these bars, and then like the road, and then it kind of drops down. There's the ocean, And so this place is called Float, and like half of it is a bar, and then the other half is outside where it's a pool, and you can actually like go up to the bar and the pool and stuff. And then there's like this balcony that just kind of like borders the pool, and like we're just playing at the end of the balcony. So
In a straight line.
Yeah,
a
'cause it's
straight
not a big
line.
balcony. It's only like
in a straight
2.5 feet wide, and so we're just like one after another.
because it was It was this one bar that was owned by like the place that owns multiple bars, and we wanted to play at their nice one, but we have to play at this one first. So it was that kind of thing.
Yeah, I
you know?
get that. Yeah.
And so, it's like I don't know so we're just like looking down at everybody, and everyone's just like grinding. You know, they're like all these like
But like in the pool.
The girls are basically just like stripping on all the guys and stuff. You know, it was, and then we started playing, and then everyone just left.
Yeah, our music was not their style.
Our music-
That's okay.
It was pretty funny though.
Our music is so different than the bars in Galveston play, and yet we play all the bars in Galveston.
You mean you can't grind to Edison Chair? I feel like
I
think
think
you
you can
can.
grind Edison Chair.
It's
I
just
think you
a different
can.
kind of grinding.
And these are our mostly covers.
I'm going to show you at Stubbs.
We'll be grinding everywhere.
You guys want to play a game?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking that. It's the theme of We Got History. That's how I was thinking of it. So we're going to play a game we've played on the podcast before. There's no name for it. I think it's called the Lyric Game. So we did it at Antone's, actually. So I have a few songs. There's gonna be a theme about it. It's going to be a history theme, really. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off lyrics to a song, but there's going to be no musical accompaniment. And I think I have 6 songs, so hopefully everybody can do one. But if you think you know it, just say your name, and then you can guess it.
Say our
Okay.
name, but not the.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can go. So, I mean, hopefully we get to everybody. It doesn't matter if we don't, but...
So we're going song and artist, or
What? Yeah.
there's
That's
no
how
rules?
That's how you win the money, anyway. Yeah.
Can we share it with somebody else
We
who
got
might
it.
know the artist or who,
Yeah,
you
you
know.
can do anything you want, really.
The rules are limited.
That's
No
the
rules
game.
here,
And
Patrick?
the points don't matter.
There will be a theme.
Go, Rachel,
The points
go.
don't matter. That was good. That's
Yeah,
good.
chug your beer right
Whose
now.
line is it
Chug your
anyway?
beer.
Whose line's in anyway? The best show in American history.
Great.
Great.
Show. Wayne Brady.
Yeah, that is good.
Wayne Brady.
All right, so what I'll do is begin a song, lyrics. Shout your name if you think you know what it is.
Your
Are
ear.
you gonna
Again.
start from the beginning? Or are you gonna go from the chorus? Maybe
There's
the middle
some,
of the
it doesn't-
line?
it-
All
they're
right,
kind
gonna
of-
pick.
Because I try to actually I think most of them are probably pretty obvious, but I try to start in the middle a little bit. I don't
Right.
care if you, I mean, the idea is to know it, so I didn't make it too hard. So this is the Lyric Game historical version. The We Got History EP by Edison Chair version. All right. In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap. The job's a game. Nobody yet, huh? You'll get it.
What is this match?
Yeah, eventually I'll say it, and it'll just be like whoever says it faster. Okay. And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a lark, a spree. It's very clear to see that. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
I got
Ellen!
Ellen.
Mary Poppins, a
Yes,
spoonful of
yes,
sugar makes the
Mary
medicine go
Poppins.
down.
Nice.
Mary Poppins was released on this date.
You know Mary Poppins.
No, I don't.
Oh man,
Ah.
that's
It's
a bummer.
Julie Andrews.
Julia Andrews as like a nice
spoonful
nanny.
of
Oh,
sugar
like
helps
actual
the
Mary
medicine
Poppins.
go
Obviously, I know
down.
that. I was assuming that was some song named Mary Poppins
No.
that
No.
everyone knew.
Yeah, it's like this
Okay.
DJ, Mary
Yeah.
Poppins.
So on this day, August 29th in 1964, Mary Poppins was released.
Ooh.
Wow.
Say what?
And you can catch the new one coming out with Emily Blunt pretty soon.
What?
What? Why?
Yeah, the Disney's doing that thing where they
They
do
remake
old movies.
everything, yeah.
How do you
And
know
they're-
that?
Because they've run out of ideas, so now they have to do this.
Because I got I'm in the know of Disney. You know what I mean? I talk to
Disney
Bob
detours.
Iger all the time.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Disney's making a remake with Emily Blunt as Mary.
That's
Poppins.
cool.
It's part of the tour.
Just kidding. Emily Blunt is great, but she's not Julie Andrews.
No,
Ooh.
nobody is Julian.
Oh damn.
That sounds
shots,
loaded.
Shots fired, Emily.
From a vocal coach.
Julie Andrews is the best.
Yeah.
All right. Here's song number 2. Say your name when you're ready. Backbeat. The word was on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
Oh,
Brian.
Brian.
My name's Brian,
Brian.
and that was Wonderwall by Oasis.
That is correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
Wow.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So while not on this album, it's the only one I thought anybody knew. But in 1994, on this day, Oasis released their first album, Definitely Maybe.
Oh.
It
We knew
was
what
the
that-
fastest selling album in UK history and was on the charts for 177 weeks
Holy crap.
on this day.
That was not, in my opinion, the best song on that album. There's a lot of.
It
great
wasn't on
songs.
that. Oh,
yeah.
that was on their second album. But yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was just trying to do the easy one. I cheated. But you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
You got
That's
the easy
point.
one, Brian.
Yeah. I'm very proud of myself. I'm going to just wheel away now.
All right. Here we go. Song number 3. Wise men say only fools rush in.
Brett.
Yeah.
Elvis.
I knew you'd get that. You love Elvis.
Just can't help falling in love with you.
Yeah. Can't help falling in love. Elvis Presley. So on this day in 1977, 3 people were arrested for trying to steal Elvis's body from Memphis. And after that, he was moved to Graceland.
Badass.
Yeah.
That's the Elvis history.
We got
We
history.
need this.
Not the history I was expecting.
That was a little twist for the kids.
What would you do with it?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
What would? Never mind.
just chill with it?
Damn, this is getting weird.
Just put up a bunch of posts. I'm chilling with the king, yo.
Yeah.
Weekend at Barney's.
Weekend at Bernie's, yeah.
Yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's. That's the
Dude, I could see an Edison Chair movie of Weekend at Bernie's. You 6 just like run around with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A dead Martin.
Elvis Presley.
Right, that
Yeah.
hasn't happened yet, so this would be the first time.
Yeah. Nobody steal that idea. All right. Song number 4. Pretty woman walking down the street. Pretty. Wait, did you?
I think you said Joe before I said Martin.
You said Joe.
Oh shit! Now I'm like,
Ooh.
no, hold on.
5 seconds.
Come on.
Okay.
5, 4,
Roy Orbison,
3, 2,
Pretty Woman.
1.
Close enough. It's Oh, Pretty Woman. But yeah, Roy Orbison.
Oh.
On this day in 1964, same day that Mary Poppins was released, Oh, Pretty Woman was released in the U.S. by Roy Orbison.
What a great day.
There's a lot today.
I was conflicted between Roy Orbison and Buddy Holly for a second there, but Roy Orbison.
So let's see. Let's do the last 2 for Rachel and Martin. They're gonna get 2. All right, 2 more. I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through.
Oh my god, I know it, but
Didn't know how lost I was
until I found you.
until I found you. Rachel, you must know it.
I
know
the song, but I don't know who did it.
You
I
got
was-
it. You got it.
I was beat, incomplete. I'd been had. I was sad and blue.
Like a virgin.
Like a
Right.
virgin, yes. Madonna's Like a
Madonna.
Virgin.
Ooh, I wasn't gonna get that one. That's for sure.
Like a bird.
So on this date, yeah, you can keep going.
Touch for the very first time.
Nice.
Like a virgin, when your heart beats next to mine.
Weird Al's version?
I had
Like
the
a surgeon?
lyrics.
Anybody?
that was good.
Yeah.
So on this date in 2003, Madonna performed that song, Like a Virgin, on the MTV Video Music Awards, the same music awards where she made out with Britney and Christina on this day.
Best music video
Great day.
awards. Great day.
Christina got cut out of the show for some reason. They only showed Britney.
What?
Yeah, that's what was.
both of them?
Yeah, she got.
Wow.
Yeah, she got cut out. Yeah, no, they didn't show it on the thing. I had to do a lot of internet research, but I found it.
Because they're like, this girl is kissing everybody.
All right, one more song. I'm gonna give it up to Martin here.
Okay,
I feel it.
let's see.
All right. She was more like a beauty queen from a movie screen. I said, don't mind, but what do you mean? I am the one. Who will dance on the floor in the round? She said, I am the one. Who will dance on the floor in the round?
Song.
No.
No?
She told me her name was Billie Jean.
Oh, it's Billie Jean.
As she called
I'm so bad with lyrics. That's like not my thing, you know.
What Bee Gees song did you think it was?
Oh, I thought it was "Staying Alive" for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Just from the cadence of the things that you were saying.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said, don't mind, but what do you mean? I'm the one.
More like a beauty queen.
She said that I'm the one who danced on the floor in the round.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Sounds like I hear it too.
I'm very concerned about what Matt's about to say about,
Michael Jackson?
its involvement with this date.
On this day in 1958, Michael Jackson was born.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Happy B-Day.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good.
I was real worried about that one.
Yeah, you know.
No reason to be
A lot of
worried.
things he could have said.
Really? It's
Yeah.
So it's his birthday. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
see
Today's his
anything
birthday.
about it on Facebook, which is strange.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Well, people are going to go to the source. They're going to go to the Say It Loud podcast to get their daily news like 5 days later after it was recorded. But yeah, it's a crazy music day.
Yeah, it is.
We Got History
crazy
EP. Download it, buy it, listen to it on Spotify.
Stream it.
Stream it. Yeah.
Dream it.
Oh, that's good. Is that it? Seems. Have you said that before? That was great. Oh, okay.
I'm rhyming.
You can dream it. You can stream it.
Yeah.
You can
Um,
dream it. Or if you
well,
stream it, you can-
Stubbs. What can we expect at Stubbs on September 7th? That's gonna be a pretty awesome lineup. I gotta say, like,
Expect a freaking
Danny.
party.
Or what's his name? Is that his name? Sound guy?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Danny.
Nah, I think you can expect a lot of girl power. Like,
big time.
we just saw Nomad City, and oh my god,
Yeah.
So good,
Deca
right?
Gas.
Brittany's pretty gnarly.
she's
Yeah.
insane.
She's real good.
I gotta say, Sydney Wright seems to be on like a really cool path too. Like I saw her most recent video. Like she's definitely doing some good shit.
She's
so.
got a lot of internet
Yeah.
following too, which
Yeah.
would be helpful for any of us at this show. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen her live yet, but what I've heard is really awesome.
I haven't either, so that'll be really cool to see her. But yeah,
Just
looking
a fun
forward
place
to it.
hang out at, man.
Yeah, Stubbs is great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy it's still called Stubbs. You know, I was wondering about that.
As for now.
Will it still be called Stubbs by the time we play there?
Little insider.
yeah, what's happening?
Talk to the
You don't know
guy.
that?
Talk to one of
No.
the dudes at the so they got sued by like McCormick. So McCormick, the spice company,
Yeah.
Yeah.
owns the name Stubbs.
Really?
And they sell the spices, but now they want to make like a Chili's version of Stubbs across the country.
Oh,
Like it's
no.
gonna be Stubbs like across the country. So they told Stubbs in Austin that they have to stop using their name. They can't put their name on the sauce and like all this stuff like that. So apparently that's been in court for like 2 years now. And the guy was saying that it could be in court for another 2 years. He was like, it's not settled. Like, it may not be settled. You heard it here first, folks. It's not settled yet. And
Not settled.
And he said that, honestly, it could be another 2 years until they get it settled. And then people were going around saying, like, oh, it's going to be called Liberty Lunch. And they're going to call it Liberty Lunch because of the old bar that was here back in the 90s or whatever. And they said, no, that apparently that guy bought that name, like, 10 years ago. And people saw it on like a register and were like, "Oh, this is what it's gonna be," and it's not the case. But it could be Stubbs for as long as we know for a while. So
That's crazy. I hope it doesn't
That's too
change.
bad.
And now
Yeah.
you're in the know with Joe.
Is that going to be a segment now?
Oh, it is now. Dang
Yeah.
it.
I hope they don't name it something stupid.
I know.
I hope not.
Clint's idea was great. Chubbs. Yeah, somebody asked us on a actually Chris Petrovka asked us on his podcast or his Facebook live stream, what would you name Stubbs if you had to rename it? And Clint answered right away, Chubbs. And he's like, the indoor stage, half Chubbs. I thought that was hilarious.
Half Chubbs.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That is really good. Shout out to Clint. No R.I.P.
Yeah, Clint's alive.
We can't
Yeah.
say that for sure though.
Yeah, he's probably just chomping on some wings and
Yeah.
hanging out with Buffalo folks.
Yep. So Stubbs, hopefully it'll be still Stubbs. Hopefully September 7th will still be a thing. You know, the world will be here. I can't guarantee that either, but it'll be an awesome night.
Very optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm expecting good things. Bring your party pants, your dancing shoes.
Mostly your party pants.
Want to thank, Edison Chair. I mean, you have a website. It's got your video on it. Should people connect with you there or Facebook? Where do you like people to
Everywhere.
Just
All of
stalk you.
it. Hit us
Mostly
up.
go like us on Spotify
Like us on Spotify.
or follow us on Spotify, I guess.
Tweet at.
Tweet
I don't know.
at.
Yeah. Tweeted our Friendster. In lieu of, was it Wes, and Jake aren't here, but we'll see him at the show. And, thanks, Rachel, Ellen, Martin. You guys are awesome. This will be a great show. Check out, Spotify, the EP, Fair City Fire, singles. Actually, you guys are doing that too, right? Aren't you? Edison Chair doing, like, single releases in the next couple months?
Next few months.
Hopefully out in the fall, and then we're gonna start. Probably have another one out before. Maybe all three out before South by. I don't know. We haven't decided that yet, but
we'll see.
we're gonna stagger them a little bit. And the first two are gonna have videos, and then like the third ones we're gonna have some vinyl. So
So you're going to stick with that model of just doing singles for now?
yeah, I think so, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Fair City Fire had a couple singles.
Yeah, this summer we released Attack, and we just released No Promises a few weeks ago. So definitely real proud of both of those. So it's good to be coming out with stuff.
But then you might jump back in the studio late this year, you think, for a little more?
I think the next release will be a full album. So
Oh, cool, man.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Heck yeah.
real excited about that.
Good stuff. Will people be able to hear the new songs at the show at Stubbs?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be playing
Cool.
for sure.
All
Awesome.
the things that are, all of them.
Very good. We'll see you at Stubbs September 7th. EdisonChair.com, Facebook.EdisonCom Chair.
That's right.
And
That's the one.
and Spotify. So thanks, guys. We'll party
Thanks,
in a couple
guys.
weeks.
Yeah. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
Shut up. Now we gotta cancel it, Brian. I gotta delete the whole thing.